Okay, so we've got a really fascinating set of sources to get into today. We're doing a deep dive into something called Afrikaans black metal, or ABM. It's been described as maybe the most radically transgressive space in South African culture.
That's a pretty bold claim. But black metal as a whole, it's always been about the chaotic.
The chaotic.
Yeah, monsters, death, rebellion, Satanism. It's a complete and total rejection of societal norms.
So the mission today is to figure out how that extreme aesthetic got, well, translated in an Africanist context.
Exactly. And it's interesting because it happened so late. This really only bubbled up in the early 2000s.
Right, long after the first wave of South African metal, which was all in English. So where do we start?
Well, you can't understand the local without the global. The name itself, black metal, that comes from the band Venom way back in 1982.
The first wave.
The first wave, yeah. But the genre was really defined by the notorious second wave in Norway.
We're talking about bands like Mayhem and Burzum.
That's them. The church burnings, the murders, all the things that made the headlines.
So how does that connect to a band singing in Afrikaans years later?
Well, the key link is what happened after that. You got bands like Dimmu Borgir, also from Norway, who proved that you could sing in your native tongue and still have a huge international reach.
Ah, so that opened a door.
It opened the floodgates. It gave bands like Nahul, Slag Bees, and Skathana wept the inspiration, you could say, to use their own language.
It's still a very underground scene, though, right? I read that many of these groups, they never even perform live.
Not at all. They follow that original model from bands like Bathory and Burzum, purely studio projects.
So the entire transgression is just in the sound and the words.
Precisely. And when you look at the words, you see that direct adaptation of the chaotic.
Okay, so give me an example.
You've got the classic anti-Christian themes. Nahul has a song, Bitterund, which is all about rejecting blind faith, the illusion of paradise.
And then there's Skathana Wept, with a song called Bladzi Se.
Yeah, page 666. Not exactly subtle.
No. And it's not just religion. There's a real nihilism there, too.
Yeah.
I was struck by that Vlies anchor track, Bang Isn't Die.
The imagery is just brutal.
That one line, Dry Cruise, Twiskotyne Graph.
3 crosses, 2 shots, 1 grave.
It's so fatalistic. It feels like a direct echo of that bleak Scandinavian worldview, just localized.
It is. And you even see the pagan element adapted. Just like Norse bands looked to their mythology, you have Spectral Bastion with Didrides Pad, the Druidic Path. It's the same impulse, just a different cultural source.
Of course, exploring the extreme edge of any genre, it means you eventually run into politics. The sources do mention NSBM groups.
They do. National Socialist black metal.
Bands like Volkmag and Kriegsmag with themes of white pride and racism.
Yes, and it is absolutely crucial to note that our sources frame these groups as a tiny, very hard-to-access niche. They're on the furthest periphery of the scene.
The extreme within the extreme.
Exactly. But there's another example of localization that's, well, it's much more subtle and I think much more powerful.
Okay.
It's the moment that, for me, really makes this whole thing click.
Let's hear it.
The band Slag Bees did a cover of a classic metal song by Diamond Head, Am I Evil?
Right.
They translated it into Afrikaans and called it Boezardig.
Okay.
Now, in the original, the huge iconic chorus line is, I am man, yes I am.
Yeah.
In the Slag Bees version, they change it. It becomes, Ik sing with man, ja ik is.
I'm a white man, yes I am.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's a profound change.
Isn't it? With one word, they take that universal theme of rebellion, of being seen as the evil outcast, and they ground it directly in the specific, very complex position of the white man in South Africa.
It perfectly recontextualizes the entire philosophy.
It does, and shows that ABM isn't just imitation. It's a genuine translation of an idea into a new, unique cultural space.
So that leaves us with a final thought then. If black metal is fundamentally the most controversial, the most transgressive space in music, what does it tell us about the Afrikaans language that has been able to find a place there, that it can function so powerfully in this extreme antisocial genre, so far beyond its, traditional cultural boundaries?